afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be going through Canva and how you can use Canva effectively for your marketing and your website. I'm going to do this on kind of two levels. So in one way, I'm going to give you 5 tips and tricks. These are things that as a marketer, I either was surprised when I found them, or they just generally make my life so much easier, and I hope they'll make yours as well. And then on another level, I'm going to be talking about what the difference is between free and paid, how to set up an account, and just some basic little bits about Canva as we go. So hopefully, whether you're an absolute newbie to Canva or you're fairly experienced, there's something in the next 20 minutes that will help make your life a little bit easier or save you some time. So we're going to get straight dug in to this. And yes, I know that's a weird way of phrasing it, but whatever. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to Nikki and Mitch for inviting us along to this session. Last year was absolutely incredible, and I'm really looking forward to next year as well. So thank you very much for all the hard work and dedication that you've put in for us so far. And the first thing that we're going to go through is ebooks. Well, I've called them ebooks. It's not really ebooks per se, it's more product. So here I want you to be thinking about downloadable guides. They might be things like maps of the area that you're using as lead gen. Potentially it's products. You've got some merchandise and you really want them to kind of like just look their absolute best. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through an example, and for this I'm going to use ebooks. So I'm just going to type in ebooks into Canva here, and it's going to give us a range of different templates. This is one of the features that I absolutely love about Canva, is just the just enormity of choice that you have. But the problem with these kind of ebooks is they look really flat when you go to present them in marketing collateral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this one here that I've already made. It's Airbnb Experiences Guide. This is on our website. It's a multi-help guide. So you're welcome to go download it. It's free. But we're just going to go up here to share, and then we're going to scroll down a little to more, and we're going to be looking for smartmockups.com. It is a third party, so we're just going to click to approve that. And while the design is preparing, we're going to go to our search engine. We're going to type in smartmockups.com. So you'll come to this website, it should look like this, and we're going to just click up at the top here and view all. I want to just give an example, so we're just going to go into devices here so that we can see a few ways that you could be including your design in this. So here we are on ebooks, and I'm just going to pick one so that we get an example to play with. So I've gone for a fairly simple design. And we're going to first go to that upload section, and we're going to pick the image that we just processed in Canva. So they do have a third-party integration, so this links directly. So choose your image. Now, I did happen to get the right size dimensions here, but you would resize, and then just click to approve. And here you go. Here's a finished image where you have your example as a book. You can either download it or save it for later. The download options are really good, so you can get some really high quality images. This way you can use it on design collateral, or you can use it on your website, for example. But I hope that this just gives an example of the way that you could work with something like this, especially if you want to get, say, for example, your logo on a mug and you want that on your website. This is a great wee tool to do it. One thing is that I did use a free trial for this website. So your free trial lasts for 7 days. You can do what I do, which is sign up for it, use it as much as you can, or if you're using it on a regular basis, then obviously you may want to be doing some of the paid functions. Not all of the designs are paid. You can go in and choose some of the free ones as well. So I guess they have a freemium model that you can always use. Right, we're going to go on to the next one now. That's free and paid for Canva. Now, you don't need to sign up for the paid as an exclusive option. They come in a multitude. They actually have 3 different payment options. I'm going to show you all. So let's just flick through and go through to their payment page so that we can understand it from here. So here you've got free and you've got pro. You've got the price there for annual. Obviously this is in pounds, but you can have a little look at that as a monthly price. As you can see, very reasonable. And then you can also see a little bit of an example of what you can get under both ones. Now I'm going to click up here into their templates and just have a little look at some of the free offerings that they do have. As you can see, there's quite a lot of options. So you certainly aren't lacking when you're using the free model. But I'm just going to show you with the logos here, the difference between paid and pro. So pro means that you have to have the pro membership. That was that $10.99 that you saw earlier. But paid means that you can still use that design, but there's modules within that design that you need to pay for. So generally, if you're doing that, it's about £1.50 per module. So say for example, if you are only doing a downloadable guide every 3 months, or you're doing a brochure, then you may only want to use the paid function and just download the ones for that particular brochure, and then you don't have to pay for the ongoing monthly cost. This will be much more cost effective for you, and you essentially still get to use all of the same things. So next, we're going to talk about templates. I know I just mentioned templates there, but these ones are templates that we are making. So what we can do within Canva is you can actually set up templates, have them stored, and that way you're not affecting your main design. So let's do an example here. So I have this, it's our newsletter banner. We use it on a regular basis, but it may not always be me that creates them. Or I may want to make sure that it's all set and I don't keep messing around with it. So what I can do is I can go up to the share function again and just go down. We want the more button here, and you can see templates. Now if I click this and just add it to one of my folders, I'm going to add it to my design assets here. This is a team folder, so everyone can gain access to it, and I'm going to save it. From here, what I can do is I can view that template. And if anyone else wants to use that template, when they click on it, they'll get 2 options. They can edit the template, or they can create a new design. So this is a fantastic way of controlling the design, making sure it's on brand, making sure that you don't lose the original, which is so important. I've just done a very quick example for you there, but obviously I'd go in and rename that, and there I would have both existing. Next, we're going to go through account setup. This is going back for the beginners. So within Canva, you have a number of different options of how you can set this up. Here is the home page that any user will see when they log in. As you can see, we've got various things for teams there. So you can have up to 5 people added if you're on the paid subscription. And then you can also share anything that you do. What I love is the fact that you can have your designs and then you can just add them to the team folders or share them when you're ready. What I want to show you here is also a brand asset folders. So here you can set it at a company level so that anyone that ever needs to gain access to the colors, to the fonts, to the logos, it's all in one place. I'm going to do a quick example. Let's just delete this one, and I want to add in a new palette. I'm just picking one here. And then here you can see our fonts. We actually uploaded our fonts because we use specific ones for indie, but you can also use anything that Canva comes with, and they have quite a collection. But what I want to do is I now want to open up a design for you, and we're just going to demonstrate how you access those, and also just to show you how easy it is to manage. Later I will talk about a content planner as well if I still have time. So let's find a design, and we're just going to open this one that I prepared for us earlier again. And what I want to do is I want to just demonstrate the colors. So here you can come down, and there they are. They're all preset, so that anyone can just come in and choose it. And then you can also change all of them en masse. So if you do a brand update, or if something's not quite the right color, you can change everything in one click. And what I really want to show you is logos. So if you upload your logo as an SVG instead of a PNG, what you can do is you can pull it nice there. I'll just make it nice and big for us to see. But you can change the color on that logo without necessarily needing to upload your logo multiple times. So this is really, really handy to control your brand and just work more effectively and quicker. So that, remember, that's uploading it instead of a PNG, but uploading it as an SVG or an AI file, if I remember rightly. So we're gonna do another hot tip, because I love these. And this one is background remover. You can obviously remove the background in a multitude of different ways. You do not need to use Canva. However, this does make it quicker, and I do think that the tool is quite robust. So I do want to do a demonstration for you here. Again, it is a paid feature, so do keep that in mind. If you're working regularly though, I will be using this maybe once a week, once every two weeks. So it's definitely worth it. So here's our image, and I've chosen something with a really strong foreground and a pale background. And then what we want to do is come to this one here, the remove backgrounds. What it's going to do is it's just going to highlight there the image in the foreground. So you may have to, like, this may not work with every image, but you can certainly make it work most of the time. How quick was that? So we're going to take this image, and I'm just going to do a bit of an example just so you can see it in context. So there we go, we just dropped it in. I'm going to resize ever so slightly. And as you can see, it really adds a different dimension to this image. It brings something to the foreground, it leads the eye. So it's really, really handy for any social assets. You may, whereas I've used that there as an ice cream, this would be really applicable for a product, for example, if you were putting it there, if you offer merchandise on the tour, or if you just want to add some extra dimension to your images. So what I want to go through with you now is the same kind of technique with the remove background, but we're going to use it in a different way this time. And I'm going to show you a technique that's quite often used on like YouTube thumbnails, or you might have seen it on social, and I just really like it, so I wanted to share it with you. So here is an example. We've got myself there, and then behind it you can see this little background. So what we're going to do is, that's actually two different images. We're just going to remove that. And as you can see, the black image on a kind of black screen, it really doesn't stand out that well. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the image of me there. We don't need two of me, but we've got it. And we've moved it up a little to make it easier to work with. And we go to edit image. What we're looking for is something called dual tone. Now it's up there for me at the top because I've used it recently, but actually it's more likely to show up down here if you've got it enabled, or if you don't, it'll show up in this extra apps section. These are other ways that you can edit images. So coming back up to dual tone, we're going to click on that there. And you can select any one of these wonderful, lovely images. And once we've clicked on it, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the highlight section and the shadow section. I'm going to change both of them to white. I know it's a bit of a process, but we're almost there. So change that to white. There we go. We've hidden it in the background. Now, because this image, we're just going to line it up, and then we're going to use that layering button, and we're just going to send it to the back. Now this will take a few seconds because that image there is highly processed now, so it'll just take a little bit of time for Canva to catch up. But this is really good if you're working with a product, say, and you really want it to pop out in front. It can work really nicely if you've got a guide and you want them to be at the front, and then the rest of the information is about a tour, and it just makes it really personal. So you can obviously do that with any color in the background. You can make it really funky and cool. But I just wanted to do that quick demonstration. So next we're going to look at consistency. Now this is obviously important for any brand. It's really important to make sure that we're really thinking about this and we've got everything laid out nicely. One thing that I find is quite a struggle, because there are multiple designers within Canva and they've all got different styles. Keeping it so that you have like a campaign, for example, of different social images, and you want to have different graphics, or you want to keep using the same style of 1, 2, 3, 4, is actually quite difficult sometimes. So I'm going to show you how to find them very easily. So here we've got an example of a design. This is a really great little graphic. I can totally see it on a social post somewhere. What I really love about it is actually that you can go in, you can change all these colors, you can make it brand appropriate. It's a super flexible design. But what the problem is that obviously to get something similar to this, we'll either have to make it ourselves, or we'll have to play about with it quite a lot, or we'll just have to find things that don't quite match. So what we can do is we can actually go over there to elements again, where we selected it originally. Just hover over it and you get the 3 little dots. Just click on that there. And you can see the name of it, and you can also see who created it. So just click on who created it. And you can see all the other designs they've ever done. So this way you can get things consistently in design mode. I'm just going to do a quick example. So here's one. I should have got rid of the background. There we go. And there's another one which is in the exact same style. What I love is some of the designers are really, really thoughtful on how they upload this. So this designer has also uploaded it as a really simple black and white. And they've also done a kind of more cartoon example as well. So that way I can keep all of my designs really consistent, and it will really help in the long term of managing how everything looks. Now, this is a beginner's one. However, I do think that it's useful for pretty much anyone. If you've never used Canva to present, welcome to Canva Presents. That is exactly what I'm using right now. I thought it was very applicable given that we were doing this book. So I'm just gonna give you an example and talk you through it. So here we go. There's my face again. Way too much of me. But this is the presentation that I'm doing today, and I just want to show you how I did it. So you've got your design, you go up to present, you're given 4 options. So we've got a few here, and what we want is the one down at the bottom with the presenter. You're just going to click on next, and then you can see that we've got the little design. So if I proceed through, we're going to see an example of me just running through what that might have looked like. So here we go with the design. And we're gonna just click record here, and you'll be able to see me do a demonstration. So this is what the user sees. This is how I see it. And you can then go through, you can test it all, you can play video during your design, you can then you can flick through with just a little tap of the finger going through the designs. One thing that I think is really useful for this is actually that you can either record the screen as you're going, so you can kind of stream it, or what you can do is you can download that file and then be able to modify it later. So you could upload it into, say, iMovie, you could add some music to it, you could edit it if you needed to, and then you have a full presentation. What you can also do, however, is Canva does allow for you to actually get a URL link. So say, for example, I had a website and I wanted to do either a demo, or maybe I want to do a virtual walkthrough of a location or a destination. I could then add this URL as a link on my website instead of necessarily having to upload the video. So I think that's a really, really handy little extra that they provide. And it also means that if you're working with a team, for example, you can share the URL in advance and just be like, how was my presentation? What did you think of that? So this is a really, really nice, flexible way of working.